So it's not the strongest field at the John Deere Classic. The highest-ranked player in the field is Webb Simpson. Naturally, he's the betting favorite this week. Simpson, who sits 58th in the official World Golf Rankings, one of 9 top 100 players teeing it up at TPC Deere Run out in Illinois, and is listed at 12-1 at Caesar Sportsbook. Now, bookmakers are having a hard time getting a ton of action on this tournament, so much so that usually the leaderboard is the first thing you see on the app under golf, but today it's third in the pecking order behind exotic odds and boosters as they try to get you to lay your money on props instead of futures. As you digest this list, those exotics include Jason Day, top 10 finish, plus 360, and then Lucas Glover, John Hunt, and Dylan Fratelli all making the cut at plus 250. All right, let's bring in a guy who's always a good bet. Doug Bell, where nothing runs like a John Deere Classic, yes. Doug. All right, so with Webb Simpson, does he deserve to be the favorite in your eyes?
Tommy, when you look at the field, I do believe Webb Simpson is the clear-cut favorite, and here's the reason why. I've spoken to Webb and his caddy, Paul Tesori, each of the last few weeks, and he's healthy. That's the key. Early this year, he had a neck injury, which kept him off the tour for about 6 weeks. Couldn't practice, decided just to rest and rehab. And now he told me, he said, listen, I feel great for the first time in quite some time. Last week at the Travelers Championship, he played really, really well for 3 rounds. Didn't put that 4th round together, but I think it's coming. Here's a guy who's moved up now to 104th in FedEx Cup points. About a month ago, he was outside the top 125. He's motivated with 8 tournaments to go to try and make the Tour Championship. That sounds like a lofty goal, but Webb is playing really, really well. And also, he wants to be on the President's Cup team. He's a member at Quail Hollow, where it's going to take place in September. Davis Love has 6 captain's picks, and he's trying to twist the arm of Davis Love, saying, hey, I'm playing the best golf of the year right now. So, yeah. Webb Simpson, I think, is the clear-cut favorite this week at the John Deere Classic.
And as we're seeing here on this graphic, the 3 top 27 finishes at his past 4 starts and has gained strokes on approach in 6 straight, coming from our guy Rick Gaiman's RickRunGood.com database. All right, JT Poston at the Travelers finished today tied for 2nd at 17 under with Sahith Tagala, which we'll get to Sahith in a bit. But what about Poston being perhaps a sleeper this week?
JT Poston, not exactly a household name on the PGA Tour, although 3 summers ago, I walked with him all 4 days at the Wyndham Championship in Greensboro when he recorded his only PGA Tour win. No bogeys that entire week. It was really one of the most impressive performances I can remember in a long, long time. Now, his game has kind of wavered since then, but now JT is getting it back. 3 top 10s in his last 8 starts. Last week at the Travelers Championship, a 62 as he tied for 2nd. I like this guy in the putter. You see this? It's getting hot. That's the key, regardless of who you're talking about. If the putter is cooperating, he's a good bet. And right now, JT's putter is cooperating. It's his best friend. JT Poston in a good spot right now.
All right, let's get to Sahith, where he'd have an 18 at the Travelers he'd like to forget. Fell behind Xander Schauffele, who ultimately won that tournament. But if I were to ask you, Doug, on a scale of 1 to 10, what's the trust factor for Sahith Tagala this week?
Well, Tommy, so 1 is no trust, 10 is the most trust, right? I'd put Sahith at a 9, and I'm not exaggerating. Listen, this guy's 24 years old, and when I interview him and walk and talk with him, I feel like I'm talking to a 44-year-old. I mean, he's a very mature young man, extremely gifted, doesn't carry a 3-wood, by the way, just a driver and a driving iron, and he's a masher. I mean, he goes all out in all these shots. Now, keep in mind, T3 at the Waste Management Phoenix Open, T5 at the Memorial of Muirfield Village, a tie for 2nd last week at the Travelers Championship. So this game travels for Sahith Tagala. He was an All-American at Pepperdine. He won on the Korn Ferry Tour, and now knocking on the door for the Arnold Palmer Award given to the PGA Tour Rookie of the Year. Davis Riley, Cameron Young, and Sahith are the top 3 candidates right now. I think whoever gets a win with 8 tournaments left is going to get that award, and I think Sahith is the guy.
All right, Doug, we're running out of time. Quick pick to win John Deere Classic for you.
Hey, Steve Stricker's not there, so I'm going with another guy from the Illinois area, out of Chicago. Nick Hardy played at the University of Illinois. He's trending. He's overcome a wrist injury. He played here as an amateur, got a sponsor's exemption. They love the kid. A big University of Illinois logo on his bag. Last 3 starts on the PGA Tour, T35, T14 at the U.S. Open, T8 last week at the Travelers Championship. Nick Hardy will have the biggest galleries of anybody at the John Deere Classic. I think he's the new Steve Stricker.
All right, coming in at 30-1 at Caesars.
Yes.
Doug, certainly appreciate it. And we want to remind you about coverage of the John Deere Classic Saturday and Sunday, 3 Eastern on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus. Lucas Glover won last year 19 under par, which was the, quote, worst winning score over the past 3 years, and he's 45-1 this week.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.